So in today's videos, we will discuss logarithmic and exponential equations, and quite a few of them we've already seen and worked with and already solved, but this is now kind of the section where we just simply really focus on specifically the equations, and we will learn more methods how we can solve them. So the first video is kind of just restating things we've actually already done, and then in the next video we will learn a new method, and then the other videos, there will then be more just reinforcement and more examples of that, of both methods actually. And so for the first method we had learned was basically the very definition of the logarithm, which is one more time in the box up here. I've noted one more time so we can refresh our memory. Basically, when we have an exponential equation, we can rewrite it as a logarithmic equation and vice versa. And that is basically the first method that we've learned already, and we will practice here one more time. And so on the left side here in A, we have an exponential equation, and then on the right side we have a logarithmic equation, simply because we have an exponent on the left equation, and we have a logarithm on the right equation. So that's all there is determined. And in addition to that, the variable is in the exponent, and the variable is inside the logarithm, and that's how we know that's an exponential equation or logarithmic equation, and then have to remember how we can solve those. So let's start with the exponential equation here on the left side. So we have 3 to the power of x minus 4 equals 15. Now if I rewrite that as a logarithmic statement, then the logarithm is the exponent, and so I write my exponent x minus 4, and that equals the logarithm. Now the base stays the same, to the base 3, and then that is of 15, which is the leftover number. And then at the very end, I simply add 4 to both sides, and I get x equals logarithm to the base 3 of 15, and then at the end plus 4. Now it's important to notice that the 4 has nothing to do with the logarithm, and it's just kind of added on at the end. Now we've already talked about we could plug that in our calculator and find an actual number, but for the purpose of these videos, we leave our answer in exact form, and else we would have it in rounded form. We'll have a decimal number. So that was our exponential equation. Now coming to the now coming to the right side, we have our logarithmic equation. Now we rewrite that in exponent form, and we therefore get x minus 7 equals, our base is 9, and then in this case our exponent is 81, which is of course a ridiculously big number, but it's meant to tempt you a little bit to put the numbers in the different spots, but we just keep applying our definition and having to make sure that we have the right numbers in the right spot. Now at the end we then add 7 on both sides, and we get 9 to the 81 power plus 7, and we just leave that again in the exact form, or we could put it in the calculator, though with 9 to the 81 power that is probably not very feasible in this case, so we would just leave it like that. So this was a refresher of how to solve an exponential equation and a logarithmic equation, and in the next video then we will learn a different method for each of them.